What up? What's going on, people?
What's going on?
I hear that for some reason. But what's going on, man? Another Sunday, another opportunity to have some fun with this thing today, man. My sis Black is not here today. We miss you, Black. But we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it today. She gotta handle her business. So these fellas gonna hold down the fort. You know what I'm saying? While she gone. I promise you, Black, I promise you, this is strictly for Black. I promise you, we won't act up.
Like, cause you got mad at us last time.
Yeah.
It's all
I
good.
promise you, we won't act up today. But I can't promise you anyway, we ain't gonna keep it real. We're gonna keep it all the way real today.
Definitely.
But before we start, give out your disclaimer, Lance. We're gonna get it popping.
I like to state that my thoughts, views, and opinion are not a representation of my employment.
Employment. I don't even know what that
Gainfully employed out here in these streets.
And then, until it's over, this is what you do.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. So, producer, what we got back there today? What's these topics?
All right. So, at the base of everything, we are truly talking about independence versus hyper independence. So, do y'all want to start with that? You want to go ahead and give y'all all the questions?
No.
We want to start there?
Let's start there. Let me say, before we even start, I think he know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I want to say, first of all, ladies, we love you. But there's a strong sense of accountability that we have to start holding each other on. Y'all are great at holding us accountable. We're not great at holding you all accountable. So today, me and Lance gonna do the best we can to try to hold y'all accountable. But also, just know that it's not always how you say it. A lot of times, it's just what you say. You need to cipher through what's being said and not take the negative, take what we're trying to say out of it. So, with that being said, I guess I got my own disclaimer today.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, that's a disclaimer.
It's more so of, I'm going to say what I'm going to say with no filter. But I promise you, it's coming from a place of love and not a place of attack. So that's the deal.
I definitely agree. I would definitely like for us to start off with a clear understanding of the definition of these two. If you could assist us with that.
Yes,
for
please.
Independence and hyper. Even if it's a modern definition, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So it won't get blurred lines like we talking about something we made up, because there's a big issue out here in these streets, especially in our culture, when we misuse things.
Right,
Sure.
right.
We will misuse a word and say something to somebody, and it's like, and then you get somebody that knows the definition, and they go, no, that's not what that means. You can't apply it that way. So we just want to make sure we get that out there when we speak on it. Independence should be obvious, but no. Let's start from
We're going to define it
There you
for
go.
the podcast purposes.
Let's define it so you'll know, hey, this is what we're talking about when we talk about independent. We've been pushing this independence speech motto for at least, 20, 30 years now?
Yeah, definitely 20.
Yeah, 20 years. From every song you look up, for every flag that was raised, you never really heard the independent band. You don't get that. It's not to combat and say that you should, but we've been under a microscope so long that when you get to this version of yourself, you have to ask, how did I end up independent? Then how did I morph into a hyper independent person?
Okay, so let's get these definitions. I think I seen you scroll something up, but I need to hear it.
Let's go. So independence. We're gonna start with that one. So we the base. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Independence refers to being self-sufficient or taking care of yourself. It's often necessary to function independently as an adult, such as making and keeping your own appointments. Okay? Now, if we look at hyper-independence refers to individual attempts to be fully independent in all things, even when it is not helpful to do so or when they truly need help or support from others.
Say it one more time.
Man.
Hyper independence refers to individual attempts to be fully independent in all things, even when it is not helpful to do so or when they truly need help or support from others. In hood terms, independent mean you can do it. You know, you can take care of the bills and all of that great things that you're supposed to, you know how to adult.
Yes.
In hood terms, hyper independent. I don't need a motherfucker for nothing. I can do whatever I need to. Yeah, I'm gonna get under this car and change my water pump because fuck niggas and I don't need them.
Exactly.
There we go.
There we go.
Just to give both,
So
you know.
okay, so
I code
It
switched
is-
on camera on accident.
it is safe to say that hyper independence comes from trauma.
Absolutely.
It has to.
Absolutely.
That's so yeah, that's exactly what it means.
It has
And
to.
it's
Hyper independence comes from trauma. So
Right.
we can say that on record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to, because how can it just morph into that?
right.
It has to start in your childhood, or something has to happen, or you have to have met a traumatic failure.
An experience.
Yeah. You've had to.
So
have
it's not
something.
one trauma that can trigger it.
Yeah.
It's multiple traumas. It could think that nobody's ever there for you. It could be mental health traumas that have caused you to be hyper independent. It could be somebody letting you down
Yeah.
or feeling like you have nobody in the world. But there's multiple traumas that can spark that.
So it's also safe to say that this could go from a man and a woman scale.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
Of course, we got the fellas here today, so we just gonna stick on it from that area. Ladies, in the comments, anything like, ask yourself, which one are you? Because you're definitely one. There's no way around that. Are you independent or are you hyper independent? And you know what I've learned, Lance, is that a lot of women, I don't even think they know that they're hyper independent when they're doing it.
I agree.
Because the reality of it is that I don't think you know that you're doing this thing out of a trauma experience.
Mm-mm.
You feel what I'm saying?
You have to combat them. You have to have the conflict, because you're gonna ask them, "Hey, I can help you." No, I got it. I didn't get the word out of my mouth.
Right.
Like, what's going on? Especially in a situation where I have the knowledge and experience in a particular thing. Let's do something as simple as changing a tire.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how you or anybody else gets taught the lesson of changing a tire. For me, it was my old man said, "Hey, look, we're gonna change a tire," or
Right.
my grandfather, or as an unfortunate person, I actually went to high school where they taught me how to do it. Okay, most folks learn how to change a tire in the situation.
Mhm.
Your tire going flat,
It's an
you go,
experience.
yeah,
Right.
it's an experience. Okay, I will tell you, before you get to your nice little new pumps and all that other good stuff, you're gonna need some physical strength.
Mhm.
And some of them don't have it. One of my first into passage in the motherhood lessons was when my dad came and changed a tire. I wasn't strong enough to twist it. That's all.
Gotcha.
It put me in my place. Like, dang,
Right.
I'm not strong enough. If I look over and see you trying to change a tire, you could one part tap into a traditional chivalry, go, "Well, you a man, change my tire," or I could try to help you. I would try to help you if I saw if you was weaker than me as a man. "Hey, bro, you need help with that, or I got you, or I could block the road for you." No, I got it. I could do it.
And that's what I was gonna say. Sometimes men have hyper independence too. Like, bro, you can't turn.
Yeah,
This
but like
four-way
I'm
spinner.
watching you
Yeah.
struggle
But,
right now.
but is that hyper independence or is that just
Okay.
trying to prove to yourself that you could do it? You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's also safe to say that
I'm gonna say it's hyper independence because as men, y'all are told y'all have to be strong and y'all have to be able to do whatever it is, work on a car, do this, do that. So you try in the beginning, especially in your early stages, to do everything.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to change this tire. I'm gonna try to learn how to do my oil change. I'm gonna try to learn how to do this, and then you realize like, no, somebody else come cut this grass for me. I ain't really gotta cut this. I don't got time. I'm a
But
business owner.
That's
You
the convenience of a first world and you have money. The point I'm touching on is you can't do something
Yeah,
and you're not going to allow somebody to help you. That's what impacts the
yeah,
hyper independence.
so chivalry ain't dead.
If they accept it,
yeah.
if they
So
accept it,
chivalry isn't dead.
it's still there.
It's still there because we're still offering to open the door.
Mhm.
I had a woman last night that insisted on me going in the door before her.
Mhm.
Straight up.
So she didn't want it.
She didn't want
Okay, I got one for you.
it. Straight up.
Hyper to me, because something like for me, honestly, the most unfortunate thing for me was to deal with hyper independence in a relationship.
Hey, Black.
What up?
What up, Black?
Dealing with it in a relationship is the worst. Because what's the point of being in a relationship if you're going to be this way? You know, you're independent, seeking for a relationship in the meantime, so you can be dependent on somebody to help you out for a partnership. Somebody said it best. Why would two independent companies get with each other? They don't need each other. Why would y'all work together? You know, you'll do a collabo for a short period of time, but we're independent. Right. Now, if you're a company and you're in textiles and you need a shipping company, you work together because it works together.
Works out,
right?
yeah.
It works out.
But if you both strong in all areas.
If I'm good and I see I'm coming up to this door and your hyper independence kicks in where you want to undermine the fact that I'm about to get this door for you and you just, I got it. Just to make sure I'm not tripping, we go to another location and you do again. Hey, hold on. Are we out here together? Are we here like friends or something? Because I thought this was like a date or something. Oh, no, well, I don't need you getting doors for me. Then you have to have that conversation. What type of dude you want or what type of outing are we trying to have? Because I assure you, there's rules to this. I'm not getting the door just because I'm a gentleman. I'm also getting the door to let everybody else know we're together. But I don't want people to know we're together like that. I said, I guarantee you, if we go into this bar, you're going to think differently. I let her go in. I sit my ass down, and I wait. Dude start to approach. Lady started talking to her, and she kind of scoops over now. What's up? Oh, man, all these people are talking to me because they thought we came in separately. Absolutely. So are you here with me now or not? Okay, yeah, I think you're right. No, I know I'm right. I literally told you. So let me break this down to you. Me getting the door for you is a sign that we came in here together. I'm accompanying you, you're accompanying me. So that means every other dude knows better. Every other chick gonna know better. But because we walked in like we homies, even though this supposed to be a date, they're gonna treat us as such. And you quickly learn that lesson. You got uncomfortable with the amount of attention you was getting when you decided to screw closer to me because you knew if you got close to me, they would leave you alone.
Right. And see, that's my issue. It's like sometimes, not a day, but people turn it on and turn it off.
Oh yeah, it was convenient.
It's when it's convenient, they turn it off. When it's not, they turn it back on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my question would be now is that how do two single people, okay, get into a relationship and the man is aware that the woman is hyper independent?
Man.
How do he really likes this lady. How do you sustain a great relationship knowing that she's that way? How can you even succeed?
That's hard.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's hard because they're hyper independent. Now, hey, look, it might sound like we're downing it, but it's really attractive.
It is. But you
gotta
know.
Right. I see you got it going on.
Right.
You like, mind you, especially if you get to this age in your 30s. Now, mind you, hyper independence don't really exist in your early 20s. You're getting here.
That's a lot.
I'm not in terms of accomplishments and establishments. So
right.
Now, if you get it early,
I'm talking about the attitude that comes behind hyper independence starts whenever it starts for you.
Okay.
There's no.
But it's a choice.
In the 30s, it's a little worse.
But it's a choice.
Taking me.
Yeah, it's a choice of it though. It's like
there's a correction window in your 20s.
Yeah, it's like you have the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to be independent because I am a single woman. And I know that I have to do these basic necessity things to survive
right now.
And then I'm going to be a hyper independent woman, and I'm just going to do everything whether I got somebody or not because I can do this. There's a difference.
You can't get into a relationship.
Black answered the question real quick though. She said by not being threatened by it. When you had asked how can a guy manage a relationship with a hyper independent woman. So
my comeback with Black on that would be, it's like I'm never threatened.
You shouldn't be.
As a real man is never threatened. The issue becomes an issue when you don't know how to turn it off. Because you do. If you want to be with a real man, you gotta turn that off. Like you can't. Like if I'm with you, that cannot be on. Like he was just talking about with the date that he, the experience that he had. Why is that on when you have me there? Unless you don't feel comfortable or safe with me. So then, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. So now I got a whole nother, issue. But if you don't feel safe with me, then that's different. But if you know that you're on this date or on this experience or we in a relationship, why is that still on?
Like what are you putting the show on for? So it bothers a person like me, and like you said,
Oh my God, come on, Black.
when
She tired this. You see what she said? It's the same as being in a relationship with a narcissist. We've been talking about that all
well, man,
morning.
you should have showed up. Yeah,
Come on,
let's
Black.
stay here. We here on hyper
Come
independence.
on, Black.
Hey, when you don't know how to turn it off, it's an issue. And I as much as I like this group of women, because you guys are very attractive, if you're successful in other areas in your life and you can't get this right, I'm gonna have a problem with you. Because that means you do know how to turn things off and on. You're choosing to be this way in my mind. And once you get to the point where you don't trust anybody, you're cutting everybody off, you don't understand how lonely you're going to be when it comes to areas of need, because you whipped yourself in a space where I have limited number of friends, I got this, I could do this, and then you say harmful things. You can't say you want a relationship. Nobody can say, I don't need you.
That's a coping mechanism.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just here because I basically want to be entertained by your presence. And I'm about to pay for this date. Bullshit. Okay, you got it. Good. Every time you tell me you have it, I'm looking for a person that needs me or requires me that doesn't have it, so I can aid their life. It's as simple as that.
So peep this. Why I'm going to all of these different dating scenarios because I'm starting to realize some things. Why is going Dutch a big deal if you're hyper independent?
Because why not use something that's
now you want to be independent.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because now, Dutch is an insult,
Yeah.
but you're hyper independent.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with Dutch?
Yeah, and then when they make those independent moves, it's like they come with an energy like, well, how dare he or whatever, I got it. It don't come how it should. If you're hyper independent, it shouldn't be an issue. Hey, I want to go out with you, because there's a saying where you got to pay the cost to be the boss. What's the point of achieving all these things and getting this money? You got it like that, you want to flaunt it like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got to go through what I need to do to be that dude to take you somewhere, I understand that there's a chance where this might not go in my favor. But if you flip it, which I told any woman, look, you fund the date, go finance a date, pick a dude, go out with his ass and pay for the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, your energy is going to change if you see his ass play with his phone too fucking much. Your energy is going to change if you see him take it for, ooh, this look good. Your energy is going to change if he orders something expensive on the menu and don't even eat it.
Absolutely.
You haven't been put in that mindset to see what that feels like. Nor should you, because you should have common sense to be more appreciative of somebody's time and money. Why would you spend time with somebody? And why would you even want to use somebody for a meal anyway if you got it? But you're hyper independent. Now, I could pick on this all day from a single aspect, but I definitely want to touch on it from a dating one, because the dating one causes more harm. If you're going to be hyper independent, you need to get with a beta brother. Hands down. They're not going to fight you. They're not going to have an issue. They're going to be okay. The issue is a lot of hyper independent women want to get with alpha dudes and cause irreparable harm. You're going to constantly fight with that type of personality. I'm trying to help you do this. I'm trying to be the man in your life. You said you want a relationship. Saying you want a man in your life and being hyper independent are counterproductive. You have to have a form of dependency. Because you're going to run me off every single step of the way. Hey, babe, you need something? No, I'm good. Hey, babe, I see that you're crying. What's up? Oh, I don't want you to see me cry. Hey, what is you, a dude? What's going on? Like, I've been in situations where some women have made me feel more in touch with my feelings than they were, because they was just trying to be so hard for no reason. And if I asked them, their mom taught them that they should never need a man.
Coping mechanism. Still in the coping mechanism.
If your mom told you that you never should need a man and you internalize that, then I'm going to tell you to your face, well, that sounds like I need to leave. Because my mom didn't raise me to say I didn't need a woman. Not at all. She said, baby, go ahead and find you a woman because you need help. You know what, mama, you're right. But I don't know why this message doesn't get relayed. Think about it. Like, even single moms raising sons, do they say, hey, you don't need a man? You don't need a woman to them?
You know what? They do say they don't need your daddy.
Damn. That's wow.
Some of them, not all.
Yeah. Because there's no point.
If he's not there, they're going to try their best to to fill a void, which you can't feel.
Because the first phase of this trauma, we can agree, has to start at childhood.
Right.
The first sign of this has to start at childhood. If you have parents in your life or a single parent in your life and they're raising you as right as they can, you have to inherit it somewhere before you get to this point where, because most of your independence is causational. I'm an adult. I haven't found a relationship yet. I gotta go pay bills. I'm gonna go to school. I need to be able to be self-sufficient because it's gonna be hard to get with somebody if you find out they can't do nothing. They can't wipe their ass. They can't brush their teeth. They can't pay bills. Okay, not you. You're not gonna get chosen. Hey, I've been doing good all this time until I got with you, and I can rely on you. Hyper-independent motherfuckers don't give a shit. I'm gonna get with you. We gonna spend time, but we gonna be like partners. I want
That's what they
everything.
want.
Yeah, I want a partnership. I want 50-50. I don't want to rely on you emotionally, and I don't want to depend on you. Is a nasty problem. So when you're in a relationship with a person that's hyper independent, you're going to spend at least 3 to 6 months fighting this motherfucker. Now, mind you, their hyper independence attracted you, but then
Because that's all I was going to bring up. I was going to say, like, I'm legit reading the characteristics. Some of the things that alpha men want in a woman are textbook hyper independence.
It's attractive. It's
So,
attractive, but you
y'all
gotta
want
know.
hyper independent women that aren't aggressive, essentially.
No, it's more so you can
No?
even be aggressive. It's
Yeah.
attractive going
it's gonna,
in.
yeah, it'll lure you
But
in.
can you control it? And I don't think a lot of women can control it. So now I'm dealing with something. I was attracted to something that was this.
Mhm.
But now I want her to dumb that down in a sense and let me feel that void. And because she's been that way all her life, for an example, she doesn't know how to turn that off.
And don't want to.
So now it's becoming unattractive. So that very same thing that attracted me to you now has made me unattracted to you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So then it comes with a spirit of confusion because now she's like, well, damn, I ain't changed. I ain't did this. I ain't
And then they'll
did
tell
that.
you, I don't want to change.
Right. But then that man is like, okay, well, in a sense, some of that falls on us. And I can say that because in the process of dating you, I should have told you, hey, your hyper independence is attractive. I like it. But I'm just saying, if we decide to go forward,
Can you
then
dial it back?
can you dial it back?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing.
Black
It-
said the date doesn't cause more harm than sex. A woman finessing a free meal is far less of an effect as being finessed out of sex. Hyper independent women are looking for alpha men and alpha men only.
They shouldn't.
They should.
They really should. Let me help you out.
So-
Go ahead.
Yeah, go. No. Go ahead.
This is how you have a problem. So if you're hyper independent, mind you, most independent women are situational and causational. Hyper is to another extreme, to that point where they're harming themselves. You have to understand this. That's the important part that separates this. So if I'm dealing with you, most guys want to get with a woman that's so self-sufficient that if I'm at my lowest, you can do this. Hell yeah. When I fall, when I'm hurt, I met her going hard in the motherfucking paint. She got it. Okay, cool. But I'm not hurt right now, and she's running full throttle. But she's running full throttle to the point where we're undermining each other. We're not complimenting each other. If a relationship doesn't compliment anybody, you're only going to hurt each other and bump heads. So that it's, I got with you because I was impressed by this, the same way you're impressed by my things, but how do I know how to lessen myself to accommodate you, but you're not lessening yourself to accommodate me? And you don't want to give it up. Whatever version of yourself you need to be while you're single is supposed to be that person. Everybody goes, well, I don't want to change. Well, yeah, the shit you did while you were single can't be the same things you did when you're in a relationship. It doesn't go like that. But a lot of motherfuckers want to do what they want to do and have a relationship with somebody and still keep doing those things.
Yeah.
Nah, play, it don't work like that.
But I also want to point out something that I noticed that you keep saying. I don't believe hyper independence means that she's successful though.
I understand what you're saying. I agree with you. And you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Hyper independence is, I still believe it comes from trauma.
No,
So
yeah, I
that-
agree
so
with
that-
that.
So
I
that,
just picked
that
on an
part-
obvious group.
Yeah,
We can
because
put that on.
yeah, because the reality of it is that in that trauma doesn't even necessarily, this might sound crazy, that trauma doesn't necessarily have to be negative. It can even be a positive trauma that still has you in a hyper independence lifestyle.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter where it comes from. It's more so of we need the women to identify what they are.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times they're walking in it
Yeah.
and don't even know that they're walking in it. You feel what I'm saying? Like something simple as, hey, you got 8 cases of water in a basket. You're not going to push this basket to your car.
Watch.
You feel what I'm saying? But you finna struggle trying to push this basket
I'd rather
to
struggle.
your car
Yeah, I'd rather struggle than ask
and
for
walk by
help.
10 different dudes.
Yeah.
And you walk by 10 different dudes, and now you finna put every case of water in your truck.
Instead of just
or
taking
in
the
your
help.
car
Mhm.
versus asking one of the workers or anybody. It's just like, it's on some, no, I got it.
Heck yeah.
And that's fine. That is attractive to a man going in. The question is that when are you going to step to the side? I didn't say step behind. I said step to the side for a reason. Step to the side and allow me to come and help and be of service to you in those things that I know you can do,
They're gonna bite you. Yeah, it's gonna bite
but
you
I
back.
choose to want to do them for you. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the
A positive example to me would be the ones that take up the mantle of head of household prematurely. So that's too soon.
okay.
You're the oldest, or you're the only competent daughter out of
Yeah.
knucklehead siblings, you
Yeah.
know, where you're the most logically sound one, so you're not even allowed to even dive into your emotions. You're playing for the black tax. You taking care of mama. You over here went to college, or even if you didn't go to college, you became the successful one by your own right in your own family.
Right.
So mind you, this is a positive version, but at the same time, this is going to ruin you in terms of dating because you come with baggage. You don't even have to have kids to come with this baggage.
Right.
Because a dude will start talking to you, you're going to be like, oh, I got to go help my mom do this.
Mhm.
Oh, I got to go get my brother. Oh, I got to go take care of my brother. My brother over here getting into it with his baby mom. And it's like, yo, sis, when it's time for you.
It's
You
not.
are what I call a person that is a server and doesn't know how to turn that off.
Mm-mm.
And mind you, 'cause
I
everybody
can
like-
speak from what you just explained. It's a fear. I have a undeniable fear to ask anybody for anything.
There you go. It could be disappointment from your old man not showing up. It could be disappointment from going into a relationship and the dude left you high and dry. There's parts of the story where you kind of got to get to your 30s to get this kind of dust on you. But if it happens in your 20s, that's interesting. Like literally, it could be as simple as a dude left you at a date and you didn't have the money to pay for it. Or yeah, you have to rely on a dude on an assignment. Now, mind you, you make it a gender issue if you want to. It doesn't
Right.
matter. It's just being left out and being the person that has to tote that luggage. It's going to upset you to the point where you're going to internalize it.
Yeah, when
I'll
it's
never do
abruptly
this again.
done. Right.
Yeah,
When it's
like,
abruptly done.
I'm never going to feel like this again. And I'm going to do everything to make sure I never feel this way again. Instead of you putting in certain places, you say, fuck it, I'm just going to do this across the board. Then it impacts your dating life. And it makes it hard because also, like I said, I got to touch on the 30 group. No disrespect to youngins, because you could come out of it. I keep saying, you in your 20s, you still good. When you get seasoned into your ways, you'll enter a relationship or start talking to a guy like myself where you can see it. You convince yourself that it's just gonna be me. So that means that I won't accept what this guy's giving me, or I won't accept the possibility of getting into a relationship, but I'm about to self-sabotage this because now I gotta let my guards down. And hyper independents don't like letting their guard down.
Mm-mm.
It's not their thing. They wouldn't be hyper independent if they were. Independent would be like this. Finally.
Right.
Oh, dog. I've been waiting for you to come help me with these bills.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, buddy. You gonna drive the car. Ooh, I'm gonna get used to this. You can't be hyper independent or independent and say you want a relationship. And when a decent person comes along, you give them such resistance.
That they don't even want to try no
They don't even want to try no more. And then you blame them like it's their
You
fault.
blame them.
Yeah,
That's
blame
the weird
them.
part.
That's the
That shit's
biggest
weird
issue.
as
It's like, oh, well, these niggas over here, they can't blah blah. They could. Oh, I'm looking for the right one. No, you're not.
No, because the right one can come. You still not gonna let your guard down.
You're not. You gonna give my heart. You gonna give my hard time for what? Because if I tell you I want a woman to comfort me, I'm not gonna let no woman not hold me. I'll hold you.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I'm gonna lean into it. If you said you want a dude to be that dude, you should have already a honeydew list stacked up. I've been waiting for him to come along and clean my ceiling fan. Whew.
And he done got up here and said, "Hey, you got a Swiffer? I can knock this
Right,
down."
you know what I mean? Like, hey, like you used to taking out your trash. Well, yeah, because you're situationally.
If you're single,
causation.
you gotta take
Yeah,
it
you
out.
gotta
But if
take
he
care of
offered,
yourself. If
sure.
I offer, hey, I can knock that out. No, don't worry, I got it. Or my favorite, well, I don't want you to help me because I don't want you to think I owe you something.
Oh, I hate that.
But-
shit. I'm done after that.
Now, mind you, I've never been a woman, so that's another woman
It's
problem
real.
where every time you get help, it's a plea to offer some dick to somebody. I look, whatever. I don't know. I don't get it. So that's what y'all
don't-
explain to me.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you go that route and you're not mature enough to actually know how to weed through just simple stuff where it's just a yes or no, once again, I'm not a woman, so I don't get it. But I'm just talking about in general. If I'm helping you and you're telling me no because you think this is a backhand dick attempt that I'm trying to offer you, Man, that's your fault, dog. I'm just trying to help your ass get inside this building.
Right.
I'm holding the umbrella. I'm getting
Yeah.
the door, whatever the case may be. I don't want the drugs.
I don't want your number.
I
I
don't-
don't want your name.
I was
don't want
trying to be chivalrous and get your ass in
Right.
this building.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to do a nice thing and go, but independence and hyper independence and over sexuality in certain places, I have you saying stuff that's just, it's not cool.
Especially if they're attractive. If it's an attractive individual, then the first thing they do is that.
Oh yeah, they'll go there quick. And I've seen somewhere they'll make the mistake of thinking you trying to get at them, and you have to let them know, I was just helping you because this was falling out your purse. Oh, I thought you were trying to get at me. Nah, I'm just nice sometimes.
And what I will say too, though, Lance, to answer your question, how some women become hyper independent in their early 20s is based off of childhood.
Mhm.
So I helped my mom with my brother and sister since I was 9.
Okay.
So by the time I was
Oh,
about
yeah.
20, I had become hyper independent because I was
Nobody relying.
right. I'm the oldest, so I'm making sure the kids is good, make sure my mama is good. Then trying to balance a relationship,
That's hard.
it's like I don't trust you, and then if you done let me down too, so now I
Oh,
currently
man.
don't trust you to do anything. So I would say I displayed hyper independence from about 20
Mhm.
to about 24.
Yeah.
And then I had to decide like, I don't want to be this way because it's not fun.
That's another
It's
part.
not.
That's another part where hyper independence is very critical.
Yeah.
Very critical. Like if you're sitting in the car with somebody that's hyper dependent and you do something for them and they just start marking up what you did, and you could do a nice thing for them, like proactively, not reactively. So they didn't even ask you, oh, I know they'll do it like that. Or why did you do it that way? If you try to drive them home and you don't
Yeah.
go their route,
Yeah.
it's a lot of their way is the only way they see it. So when you try to even date them in the beginning, it's cool. But then you start seeing the nitpicking and the tearing apart of things where they can't help it because they built a life where I only can rely on me.
On me
Now,
and my judgment.
yeah, my judgment and how I decide to do things. So if you can't allow yourself to get into a relationship with somebody and not pick a person where you're willing to at least rely on their words, views, and opinion, you're going to have an issue all the time. Like you can even tell when you talk to them if they're hyper independent. You'll sit there like, yeah, I'll do this, that, and the other. They'll do a lot of whys. Why would you do that? Oh, okay. Well, answer the question. Cool. Oh, so you do this? Yeah.
Nah, that's a little extreme.
You know what I mean? Like, but mind you, the extremity of this version of the people we're talking about,
Yeah.
these are the things they do. That's going to run you off.
Yeah.
Because even if you find yourself in a relationship with them and they don't turn it off, they're in a relationship with you now. So they're going to start asking questions that they should have asked before, or now that they notice it now, they're picking it because they're
Yeah.
trying to get you to their way.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're trying to get you to their way, they're going to beat you to submission. And if they make a mistake of getting with an alpha's not budging.
Nope.
Don't give. It's not their thing. They're going to look at you like, hey, listen, I'm accommodating you, but you fucking with me right now.
Yeah.
And that's something I don't do. They're not going to give you peace. That's not their thing.
Black said, well, Story said through Black, men are
Story.
hyper independent.
Yes,
We have-
absolutely.
yeah, that's what
But
I'm
we're,
basically-
we're naturally hyper independent, but the reality of it is that even
Okay.
now at 38, I'm hyper independent.
Mhm.
But if I got somebody that want to come in and say, hey, I'll do this, I'll gracefully bow out.
So you're independent then. Hyper independent, you would not let them do it.
I'm hyper independent until they prove that they're willing to do that consistently.
I have that problem, and I have it now. He's noticed it with me too. I would do something by myself. No, damn well I'm not. He over here telling me right now, call my mama to take care of me when I go through my surgery. I'm sitting there going, huh?
What?
It didn't even cross your mind to do that.
No, it did it, but my mind went, no, I don't
No,
wanna
I
bother
don't need.
my-
I could do it by myself.
I don't
Yeah.
want to bother my mother like that. I don't want to inconvenience anybody. I got it. In my mind, I'm going, damn, bro, that's not you, dog. Why you tripping? You got to get help.
Yeah.
You need somebody.
Yeah.
I'm full throttle. If I could do it by myself, I'm not going to ask. I got a truck so I could do it by myself, so I can stop asking
Asking
people.
Mhm, that's
Right.
me.
So it happens. The difference is being mature enough to know when to dial it back. So if I'm letting you know, and if I'm speaking from experience, and this is a guy saying, yes, I have versions of it, or if I'm not it, I am it because it gets in the way.
Yeah.
I would plan a whole schedule of going out of town and know damn well I could have asked 15 people that would gladly help me out.
Yeah.
Nah.
But I'm going to turn it off, turn it on.
So
When I-
that's
when
what
I-
I'm saying.
That's
So
right.
do you think you should heal and just become solely independent, or do you think it's more of a benefit to be hyper independent and just know how to turn it on and off?
Well, mine is a recovery mechanism from my divorce. So it's a healing mechanism for me until I open up to rely on somebody else again, because I spent so much time relying on somebody. So now I was like, oh my God, I got to do this myself. I don't want to rely on anybody else prematurely.
Yeah, like I gotta call and set my own doctor's
I
appointments.
know. Oh my God. Like shit, I had to call him and give him a break, dog. You did that good. I got to do it myself.
You
So now-
you figured out my
like,
schedule,
damn,
figured
I
out
was
the
like,
best
like,
one
how did
time
you
for me to
do
go.
this? Yeah.
Right.
So me coming into it, I went 100, but then I had to start dating again, and then I know I was like, well, I can't be like this, because if I'm in a relationship with you, especially how I am and how I speak, you'll feel like I'm antagonizing you. So I learned to shut the hell up and go, cool, that's how you do it? Bet.
And that's a relinquish of duties. You know what I mean? So like, I'm one of them type of person. Once I've relinquished the duty, I want to keep it relinquished. But at the same time, once I pick it back up, I'm probably not going to relinquish it.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
because I know what I know what I lack in.
Right.
You know, so if you show me you good at something, I can cook. I can cook pretty good. Come in my crib and cook better than me. Well, there we have it.
Well, we know who the new chef is.
Cool, exactly.
Absolutely.
Come in my crib and clean better than me. I've been waiting for you.
It's like, oh, you pine saw the floor. Oh wait, you said, oh, you pine saw the floors
You know
every
what I mean?
Saturday?
You come
Yeah,
in
you
and
got it.
organize something. I'm over here going, taking notes.
Right.
Taking notes.
Mhm.
I'm like, it's fine to the point where the issue with a lot of hyper independent women, like they'll collectively be in a group and they'll echo chamber each other instead of help each other.
Mhm.
Hyper independent guys will check each other.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he's the same way. Nah, dog, you need X, Y,
You
Z.
need that.
Damn, you're right. And if I value his opinion, I care about him. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna
I'm
listen.
gonna listen, yeah.
If I don't value your opinion and you say it, I guarantee you could see that I ignore you. You have a horrible poker face. You could tell Lance is not listening to me today.
Mm-hmm.
It's not working.
It's not clicking.
Yeah, it's not clicking at all. You said something profound, like fuck what you said.
I'm going to do what I thought was right.
Exactly.
And
But
be
that
sitting
hurts.
in the house suffering.
But that look you give, or I just explained, is the exact look you will get if you do it with a hyper independent woman, where you're telling her the right shit. Hey, don't go out there. You don't know how to drive in the snow.
Shit, the snow shit. The snow shit was a perfect example of knowing who's hyper independent and who's independent. Like, and who just know damn well and deep down in their mind they needed some type of man in their life, a brother, sister, a brother, uncle, cousin. Like, goddamn it, they need some masculinity. Goddamn me, like if you
Whoever got the most masculine energy
if
in
you've
their
been in
circle.
the house for 3 days, all right, and you've not once cranked up your car, that lets me know that is a fine indication that you probably don't have no male masculinity, energy, whatever you fuck you want to call it. You don't have none of that in your life
Or in yourself.
or in yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
Like you sat there for 3
You're
days
supposed to crank your
and
car.
was like, "Hey, have you been outside? No. Have you cranked your car?
why would I do that?
No. Well,
You might want to do that, dog.
you don't say. Oh, so what have you been? Well,
Yeah.
what? Oh, so you just don't want your car to start when this ice shit melt. You just don't want your shit to start. Okay, I got it. Cool, makes sense.
It's a car. It's gonna start.
Yeah.
No, perfect example. The truck at work that we used for yard check on Friday when we tried to do it, that hoe did not start. They had to put a whole new battery in it.
Yeah.
Because nobody went out there and crunked the truck the entire time.
Like it's there's a part of this story where I'm telling you something because I care, or I'm telling you because I know better, and you're just okay. No. You really need to do this. Okay. Oh well, maybe it's the way you said it. There's no other way for me to tell you than to fucking do it. Now I could be worse than say it in an aggressive manner. All I said was, hey man, you might want to not do this or go here. Oh well, I know what I'm doing. Hey, look, cold is cold and ice streets is ice streets.
Right.
Okay, like all you at is the beck and whim of your abilities and the conditions. And no matter how great of a driver you are, if you don't have the actual vehicle that's meant for it, which most of us don't, it's still Texas. Okay, you're screwed. You're screwed. There's countless other situations where you'll deal with them. Even women who are friends with hyper independent women, where you're sitting there going, I could have helped her with this. Why the hell she didn't? Yeah, hell yeah. Because
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah, like
I was gonna say it's not even when you're
Yeah.
hyper independent. It don't your help don't. It has no gender.
it
You're not gonna ask nobody.
You'll be sitting here. You'll be such a lone ranger in situations where you would have progressed further, but you turn that switch off to rely and depend on people. And most guys that's smart Well, start paying attention on how you manage your relationships
Mm-hmm.
or how you deal with the people that's in your life. When you look up and go, I ain't got no friends. For real? Oh, yeah, I just keep to myself. Okay, in what way do you keep to yourself?
Because I automatically label you at that point.
You know what I mean? Like something's going on here, and I just got an understanding where if I get with you, I'm gonna have to really, really deal with you. There gonna be no time off. There ain't gonna be nobody else to come kick it with you to balance you out. Because I'm gonna start paying attention to your friends. If you have them as fragments or reflections of you. So if you don't have no friends for me to balance you off, that means you have no echo chamber that makes sense. There's nobody throwing something off where it's like, hey, dog, don't do that. It's all in your head. So that means you don't trust.
You rely on you.
There you go. You don't trust nobody. How are you gonna fucking help me? Because that means you gonna treat me the same way. You just open up the door to let me in. I mean, later in life, I'm gonna sit here and ask you something, and you're gonna be like, what do you think? I just asked you what the. Okay, fuck it.
That's so. What's the?
I think on a softer side of that too, the detrimental part of being hyper independent, if you do have a partner, they don't know your needs because you don't express them.
You won't.
And so you get to a point where you start being like, well, shit,
Could you imagine?
I'm too scared to say anything.
Could you imagine being on a date and a woman coming out and telling you, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm a hyper independent woman." It would be attractive for her to be open enough to say that, but then I would automatically go into like, okay, how is this gonna work?
Yeah, like how hyper are you?
Yeah,
Because
like,
two types of obvious women, if they don't say it exactly like that, you're hyper independent if you go on a date with any dude and tell them, I want a man, but I don't need a man. There you go.
you're hyper independent.
Hyper independent.
Absolutely.
Off the rip. I don't give a damn. Like you said, you don't have to be paid or successful. There's women that are making minimum wage or below minimum wage that would regurgitate the same bullshit.
I want like this. So kind of to go back what Black was at, I mean, what Story said about men are hyper independent. I want you to be hyper independent, but I also want to feel wanted and needed. You understand what I'm saying?
They will
It's
make
cool.
you feel that way.
It's cool to be hyper independent. I'm attracted to it. It's cool, but I also need you to want me and need me. If you just go hyper independent all the way through, and then it's not showing me that I am any value to you at this point. So why would I want to be with somebody that's not going to show that I'm even valued at all? You understand what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with being hyper independent. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's only a bad thing when you don't know how to show somebody else that they are of some value into your life. You feel what I'm saying? So if you're just gonna be, no, I got it, then no, it's not gonna work. But if you're hyper independent, but you're aware that you are, and you're aware to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm hyper independent, but this person is willing, they care, they want to, I am willing to drop the mantle and let them pick it up. A lot of people don't know how to do that, men or women. So that's the part that puts us in a tight spot, is that identifying what you are, knowing what you are, but asking yourself, are you willing to drop it for the greater good?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
That's the biggest issue. What's the other question on there, DJ? I think we answered 2 at one time.
Yeah, y'all kind of did.
Two.
So of course we've covered, is there a difference? Absolutely. Can hyper independence be a bad thing? Y'all pretty much covered that.
Mm-hmm.
And then y'all definitely covered, do you think hyper independence makes it harder to allow others to step in and support you?
100%.
So y'all kind of y'all knocked it out without even having to talk about it.
Well, because we deal with it so much and it's getting worse.
Yes.
Yeah, once again,
But I personally, in my opinion, I feel like y'all only don't like the hyper independent women who are loud about it. Because look,
all the passive ones are the worst.
Okay, so
but
run
wait,
the
but the passive ones fit y'all. If you're an alpha man, this is different for beta, because obviously a hyper independent woman is probably 9 times out of 10 gonna walk all over him. But as a alpha man, she don't tell you her problems. Cool, that's one less thing you have to worry about. I'm saying it's terrible. Yes, I'm telling you, I get that it's terrible. But when you first meet them, she don't add no extra stress to my life. She handle all her business to herself. She's reserved and quiet. I mean, she's not out here in these streets entertaining in everybody else's faces. I ain't got to worry about it. Those things are attractive to you guys. So I'm saying the passive one.
I was about to say, I thought, where's the butt?
I don't have. Well, I guess
got
the
you.
butt would be like,
The
you
passive,
know.
because I dealt with the passive version of it, and it hurts. Trust me. He touched on it because it's you're not treasuring and valuing me enough to confide.
But if she's passive, and you have all of this, do you even notice that she's passive?
When you're into somebody, you will.
Okay.
So
You can't. You will.
I think we're going to answer our own
Mm.
question. Run the video.
Okay.
Run the video. I think we're
Which
going
one
to-
do you want?
Oh,
The one with the ladies in it.
we got the vid.
Yeah, the ladies only.
Oh,
This is gonna.
okay.
It's gonna.
When she
Yeah.
broke it down. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
The more educated and financially stable a woman is, the least likely she is dateable to most men.
A lot of the times we attach, our experiences to our accolades. And I think in real life, a lot of the issue that some of us have as Black women, and I can speak from a place of experience, isn't the fact that we're successful. It's the fact that sometimes our energy and our attitude with that success be sorry, but it's the truth. A lot of the times it's, I don't need this, I don't need that, I'm an independent, I get my own. That's cool, baby, get your own. They love that in real life, but they still want to feel like, oh, Daddy, I love you. Daddy, I need you. Daddy, I appreciate you. They still want to feel like that. So I think that sometimes we be so quick to say, they mad because I'm getting money. Mad because I got a degree. They not mad at that. They want that. They want a partner. They mad at the energy that comes with that sometimes.
And I think a lot of the times we need to know the difference between independence and hyper-independence.
Yes.
Independence, you on your own. Hyper-independence is a trauma response.
Bingo.
So that's
So she broke it down perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Trauma.
Trauma experiences hyper independence. It's just what it is. That's from. I think with women it is. Now with men, I think we're like born into hyper independence because the world is teaching us that we gotta do it on our own.
No
But
woman,
that's a
no
trauma,
woman,
though.
No woman's
That's not-
gonna want you.
Well,
that's
but
a trauma.
it's
Y'all
not a
aren't.
trauma because we're not experienced. We're not doing it out of an experience of
You get hurt to be
anything.
that way.
We're just born. Okay, when you were born, you supposed to.
But I feel like that's that positive trauma that you were talking about because y'all aren't taught until y'all figure it out as adults that cool, it's okay to have a help me, right? Is that the word that you
Help
said?
me.
Yes. Y'all aren't taught as young men like, hey, you shouldn't be worried about trying to bag everybody. You should be worried about trying to find somebody who matches your energy, who compliments you. Y'all are taught, hey, go explore the world, go figure that shit out your own. That's a trauma technique.
Yeah, yes and no. So this is how it's considered positive trauma. That's what you said, right?
Mhm.
Positive trauma. For a guy, especially if you have any form of males in your life, or even your mother for that matter, you are told to go out and do X, Y, Z things and achieve things because you need to obtain things to be suitable,
Mhm.
to be desired.
Right.
That's pushing independence. So put it like this. If I don't know how to do or change a tire or fix things, this, that, and the other, in God world, I'm rendered incapable of doing certain things. But if I get a good career and I can provide, I'm pushing this ship of hyper independence for a long time until I find somebody I can get with. Because at the same time, the positive trauma is guys aren't afraid of the word settle down. Get somebody settled down with. Get somebody settled down with. You say the word settle to some women, it's like, oh fuck, I ain't settling
No,
for
wait,
shit.
Lance. I was with you until you said
Yo,
that.
look.
Men are afraid of the word settle down too.
Hey, I get it. But if that's their problem, well, I'm just saying the things that guys are told, you hear that word though.
Yeah.
When you
that's
gonna
true.
settle down? So that means you acting a fool, you need to calm the fuck down.
Right. It's time
Or
for you to.
You've been doing good and I like your progression. When you gonna settle down? Or when you gonna get with a woman and settle your ass down?
Yeah.
We get the word a lot. If a dude is afraid of that word, then that must be some new fool shit. Cause I can assure you, you don't want to settle for less, but you want to settle with the right person. So
Right.
settling to us
Absolutely.
it just comes across different to us. Settling with somebody is I'm calm.
This
I'm
is
gonna-
good.
this is
We
good,
can make
that's what's
this
up.
work.
You say settle to
So a woman,
to
you think
woman,
she's
that's-
taking less automatically?
like she like I'm taking less, blah blah. Well, if settle is like the baseline and you made it less than, then you gonna miss out all the damn time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why you're still single.
Like you gonna stay single and you fucking with the wrong one because your version of hyper independence, because mind you, a woman can have a positive version too, but it's most likely it's gonna be negative because y'all just take different blows than we do.
Yeah.
Okay, we already been picked apart. We already been given a direction. Look, if you don't have this shit, no woman gonna want your ass.
Yes.
A woman could not have shit. A guy still want it.
Yeah.
Some guys don't want it.
Somebody.
Somebody, but I can assure you, Ain't too many of these hyper independent or dollar making sisters gonna go ahead and just nominate a broke dude to get with. He gonna have to come with something. He has to, or else even hey, look at some of these dads out here who see their kids effing up. I knew he was no good. They critical. Dads will let you know. Most dads will just, hey, I raised the fuck up.
So the reality of it is, and even in that video, they broke down perfectly the difference. And we don't sometimes think that a woman is dateable when she's that way. You know what I mean? Because we want you to have all of that. Again, I said it myself. Like, I want you to have that.
Like I said, most attractive
But I need,
group.
I need to but you also need to know when to drop the mantle. And sometimes they don't want to. And a lot of times that's because of a trauma. Maybe they've dropped it before, and then when they dropped it, that person failed them. Or maybe they watched mommy be failed when she dropped it, or whatever.
Or they saw a friend do it.
Right,
They
or so-
internalized
something.
their friend situation.
So the whole thing, it's not about not having it. That's cool. It's sexy. But at the same time, it's like, are you willing to drop it for me so I can make this relationship better? And we can be better together. Two hyper independent people will not succeed. Not be successful staying that way. Like, not if they're on that, if they own 10 with hyper independence all day, both parties, they're just roommates.
Yeah.
They're just partners.
They clock
They
out.
just,
They're not emotionally.
you feel what I'm
invested in
saying?
the
Like, there's
situation.
no way possible that that's going to coexist with each other for long periods of time. Somebody is going to have to drop the mantle and say, you know what, you got it.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because if not, then we're
You
gonna sleep in separate beds. We're gonna drive separate cars everywhere.
Yep.
We're gonna meet each other everywhere. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's just gonna be like having
Had a flashback on that one.
Like, it's like having a partner.
You go there when you get there, and I'm gonna get there when I get there.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, we roommates all of a sudden. How did this happen?
That's crazy.
Like, how do we get to roommate status? How we get to the the point where we're just seeing each other come and go? Yeah, you kicked in. Hyper independent people could easily turn that switch on and off if they choose to. We're talking about a group that don't know how to turn it off.
You talking about the extremes?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm sitting
When I
here,
had
I'm
to
like,
turn it
yeah,
on,
I
yeah.
get it, but
When I had to turn it on in my situation, it was for self-preservation because
Yeah.
I was so emotionally dependent and relying on somebody where it was like, damn, you ain't rocking with me like that. You doing your own shit right in front of my face. Well, fuck it, I could do that too.
Yeah.
I'm good. Then you got to start the relationship after that because y'all not helping each other. Now you don't even care if you come home.
Right.
You got this. You good. Hey, don't worry about me. Once you tell somebody you with, don't worry about you, you fucking up.
Right.
I got what you for you to worry.
Yeah.
I need your care and concern. It feeds me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I said, an independent person is perfectly fine. That's the reason why guys can get women that don't have certain types of income or any at all, because they can apply something and they can feel a sense of something. But for me to get with somebody that's making good money or more money than me, yes, that means I get to work less. I don't have to work that
Yeah.
hard. Yes, I want you. The issue is, are you going to be able to apply that version of you that's going to help? Because if you making money, you decide not to pay bills, it's like, whoa, it's not a partnership. This is help each other live better situation.
yeah,
And I'm basically just doing all the heavy lifting and you chilling
yeah.
with your stacks. We not a partner at this time. I mean, that's not a partnership, man. That's a dictatorship. And that's robbery.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm feeding the bank and getting less action just to come home and say you don't need me.
It's a user
Yeah.
spirit.
I'll take energy right there. And
Pam
that's not,
said independent people can be interdependent together.
you said
That's
what?
fine. Yes,
Hyper
absolutely.
or
No,
Inter.
independent people can be interdependent
Yes.
together.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. That's why we separated the difference to them and made sure we put out the definition of this is the bad version. Independence is great because once again, it's causational and situational. I am independent for this moment
Two
in
people
time.
are coming together independent no
Yeah.
matter what. When they
No matter
date, everything.
If you were independent by the time I met you, that meant that we met when we were hella young and we just grew together, or I met you and you were still living at your parents' crib type shit.
I'm still on the Dutch shit because I'm like, I ain't met a woman yet that don't find Dutch as an insult. You feel what I'm saying?
I get- yeah.
So with the same token, it's like you don't find Dutch as an insult, but you're hyper independent. How?
And that's the part that pissed me off.
How?
How can you pick and choose?
When you want to be hyper independent.
I'm hyper. I got this. I ain't gonna let no man take care of me. Dutch. But what? Oh, you not gonna pay? No,
No, I'm not gonna pay.
You hyper this.
Right.
Like, turn me on. Like, you go Dutch on me or pay my bill, you guaranteed Lance to stick around another 3 months.
My guy said 3 months.
3 months, man. Look, you take me out on a date, it's
If
guaranteed.
you take me out on a date, I'm definitely sticking around.
I'm sticking around. That's impressive. Like, everybody wants to know how to stand out in a date or to get with somebody or impress somebody.
Do something outside the
Yeah,
box.
outside the box. And the simplest thing
Absolutely.
is you paying. What's the point of flexing and saying I got it if you're not doing I got it ass energy?
Especially if I'm showing you that you know I got it, but you just want to do it out of a good gesture.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, man,
shit.
like I said before, fuck around and pay a bill. You got me for 6 months to a year. A bill.
So do y'all feel like y'all run into the more extreme hyper independent women now versus regular hyper independency?
I'm not running to none of them
My
motherfuckers.
dumb ass.
I'm not running to any. I'm
Not running to,
well,
running into, like, you
understand what
know.
you're saying, but I'm saying I'm sizing everything up though, because there's a thin line between hyper independence and hyper independence.
Oh, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So that's a thin line, and what I don't want is I don't want a hyper independence woman, because at that point she ain't nothing but me with a skirt on.
Let me
I don't want that.
Let me further elaborate on how bad the hyper ones are. They're
Wait,
level-
hyper or hybrid?
hybrid.
Okay.
So the hybrid version is bad, and there's a toxicity in it because they assimilate.
Yes.
They don't want to be wrong. They don't want to lose. A hybrid will fuck around and look at stuff like this, go watch all the male topics to win an argument, to best you, to undermine your thought patterns, especially if you're
to
a beta.
manipulate the
Yeah,
situation.
if you're a beta or a lesser thinking dude, you can get beat by them any day of the week. I'm not saying alphas can't, but 9 times 10 when you're headstrong, confident, and intelligent enough, it won't work. They try to avoid you because they know what they want, but they want to push that envelope. So they'll go, oh, I'm not like this.
Right.
But they are. I've seen them. I saw one, oh, man, it was so bad. I'm sitting there talking to her and I'm telling her, I said, man, I saw this clip. This clip was good. The week before, she didn't do none of these things. This girl come back after a couple of clips and started regurgitating certain things. And I was like, that's not like you. You're not catering and nurturing, but I'm not talking to you for that. Oh, well, I know how to cater to guys and this, that, and other. Since when? At all. You're cute. You're funny. I like how you are with your daughter, but you ain't never sat down and served nobody plate. You ain't rubbed no head. And now you come over here rubbing a head playing the game. No, I'm going to apply these things to get you. And once I get you, I'm going to revert back to my original self, is what she was applying. Right. And all I had to do was just wait her out for her real version of herself to come out, because that was her comfort zone. Yeah. That's all it was. And it's real scary when you meet some that do it. Just pay attention. Just talk to them about topics and watch what they watch and see what they do. They're simulating every single time because they a hybrid version doesn't want to lose to the point where they'll pick up something to look good to their friends so they won't hurt like their friends. And that's very scary. Their fear of being hurt really drives them. So they won't let you in. You'll get a shallow version of themselves until they finally hit rock bottom, or you basically walk out their life and they try to say, okay, well, this isn't me, and I understand I need somebody in my life. No, you just said it because you don't want to lose. You're being disingenuous. Right. That's not you. That's not who you are. Well, I get counseling. Get counseling.
All right, so what's your closing thoughts? I hope that wasn't it. Your closing thoughts today.
Okay, Mike. As much as we focus on sisters in this, because it's a growing population, and you guys are going to outnumber us. Mm-hmm. But this is an issue on both sides. No woman with sense, or depending on whatever type of woman you are, would want to be with a hyper-independent man that would render you useless and make you feel less than. You don't want to be with a man that's going to tell you, I want you, but I don't need you. The same way a man shouldn't tolerate no woman who looks you in your face on a date and didn't pay for that date after they tell you, I'm just here. I don't need a man or want a man to do much for me. I'm just blah, 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 blah. These are disrespectful things, and that's hyper-independence that thinks it's okay because, man, basically you're hurt, okay? And you need to be fixed. I don't know how you're going to find it. I don't care how you find it. But stop hurting other people in your way of trying to get to that better version of you. Because technically, if you're really that hyper-independent, why date? Stay alone. Don't entertain it. Don't say they came checking for me. Don't do that. Remember, you hyper-independent. You know you toxic. Keep it to yourself. It'll be all right. You know, it's cool. Go ahead, have a little sex from time to time. Just be straight to the point. Because when somebody invests in you and realize they like you, and they say they need a person in their life, and you know you don't need a person in life, just walk away. I hate how I overly simplify complicated things, but it's really that easy.
Really.
So that's me.
Partnership. Know what you want. It's still going back to what we've been saying really since the beginning of the year is just people knowing process of elimination is very simple, but it's very complex because people say that they're using it, but they're really not. So my best advice would be process of eliminate what you want and do some self-evaluation on who you are as a person. Are you independent? Are you hyper independent? Are you a hybrid hyper independent person? And know who you are. And either one, it doesn't matter, but make sure you know that you know who you are before you move forward with something and get yourself in a situation that you can't get out of. It is what it is. Till next week, Black will be back. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I'll be here. Maybe I won't. Maybe Lance will be here by himself. I don't know. But until then, I'm the Beast.
Lance.
We out. Peace.